Right now, for the Democratic primary, I'm looking at mostly Bernie. I'm looking at both Hillary and Bernie, obviously, but I think at this moment I'm leaning towards Bernie. I think Bernie will probably win Massachusetts. I know he won New Hampshire, so I think he might have an edge here, and there's a lot of college students here.
I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. I think she's the candidate who has the most experience. That's undeniable, but also she is focusing on issues that I really care about. It would be great to see a woman in office. I'm a feminist, and that would be a huge step. But beyond that, she, from the get-go, has been focusing on issues that affect all women. I think Hillary's plans ultimately are much more likely to get passed in our partisan environment currently, and also really do affect change and have the power and the ability to affect change in our country.
For me, right now, it's sort of a toss-up between either Cruz or Rubio. So, my biggest problem with Rubio is his stance on the NSA. One thing I don't like about Cruz is some of his foreign policy stance, but I do like the fact that he seems to not want to bring troops back into the Middle East. If you look at the polls, clearly Trump is probably going to destroy, and I'm not happy about that.
Probably for Bernie Sanders. He seems like the least corrupt one. For Massachusetts, I think he has a good shot. I think for the country, the nominee will probably be Hillary Clinton, which actually makes me more comfortable than Bernie winning because I think she has a higher chance of winning the presidency against a Republican.
I've been supporting Hillary Clinton since she entered the race, and even a little before. I was a huge Barack Obama supporter in 2008, but I really think that Hillary Clinton is the only person running currently who has the experience and who is able to make the tough decisions that a president needs to make.
I'm not sure yet, actually. I'm voting in the Democratic primary. Also, am very concerned about just what my rights are as a future student in debt and who needs healthcare and also isn't white. So these are things that I'm considering. Incredibly scared that Donald Trump could be our president. I have plans to move if that occurs.
I'm pretty undecided. I think I'm going to be deciding about 5 minutes before I walk into the polls. Bernie has had such a great progressive platform in the Senate and fought for so many great issues, but Hillary on the other hand is equal a fighter and has led this country in some great ways. So I am definitely torn between two great progressive legacies.
I'm a big fan of Bernie. He's running a good campaign about foreign policy because being from another country, American influence is never produces positive results with locals in other countries, and I think he recognizes that, and other candidates across the board don't, which is I think scary when you think about people who you go to class with who are from countries with Muslim populations, and they might not be allowed into this country next year.
What do you think about the political climate here at Tufts?
I think it's very liberal, and I think that produces the assumption that we're all agreed on some issues, which is not true.
It's just really exciting to see people who are voting for maybe their first time learn about the candidates, learn what it's like to work on a political campaign.
For the first time, I'm seeing so many of my peers getting out to vote, to actually canvass and walk the streets for a candidate, and so I think at least at Tufts, it's really an active community of people, and it's going to be exciting on Tuesday.